If I told you myself and the guy next to me do acting and modelling, you might be thinking Hollywood movies and us walking down the runway wearing some hideous fashion outfit. But it's not the case. We book jobs consistently. We make awesome money every week. We have fun. We experience really cool things. And a lot of people don't even know that this career exists. So today we're going to be breaking down how we made a career doing commercials and ads. We're basically going to share how we got started, how we got to where we are now, and how you can too. And I always say this, man, is that anyone can do this stuff because like they're looking for all different shapes, sizes, colours, personalities. So like anyone can get into it. So basically with this episode, we're going to be going through how you can get started if you're a beginner, you want to get into this industry. If you're already in it and you want to book more jobs, you want to make more money. And we're going to be finishing on more advanced stuff. So kind of how to run your career like a business and talking about productivity and optimization tips so you can make more money without working less. I'm going to introduce my guest here. So when it comes to commercial land, every little industry has a king and queen. And I must say that this guy is the king of commercials. I call him the cream. So if you've got a cake, you got the cream at the top, the cream of commercials, the Pac-Man, Mr. Peter Paco. What's going on, mate?
G'day, mate. Yeah, thank you for that beautiful intro. I'll take that any day. How
good is it, mate?
Because I work alongside a lot of beautiful male actors and models, and I count you as one of those. Even though yeah, exactly. When we get into this podcast, I'll be sharing a lot of my crazy stories that I've been able to be a part of, and I've been lucky to be on set with you a few times on some of those, and it's always been fun working with you, mate. So
yeah, man, awesome.
Thank you for having me.
You are the king, right? I was thinking before, I'm like, okay, if you're the king, I might be the prince of commercials.
You could be an emperor in some ways.
Oi, don't. How could be? I was going to say, don't get comfy out there, mates. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Yeah. So just a bit background, guys. So like, why should you listen to us? So I got into commercials and ads about 3.5 years ago. I've probably shot like approaching 300 commercials. I have got a background in marketing and sales, and I believe that that's really helped me build my career quite quickly because I don't just see myself as an actor. A big part of you building anything in life is knowing how to get attention and then how to convert that attention. So I've used a lot of my marketing and sales knowledge to actually get me more jobs, make me more money. And I've been creating content for probably about 8 years. So man, someone interviewed me for this like online article recently, yeah, and they were saying just how I got into acting and stuff.
Yeah.
And like 4 years ago, man, it wasn't even like a thought in my mind. So it's crazy like where life can take you. And I never saw this coming. I never saw this happening. So it's just like it's crazy life.
That echoes my sort of processing of where I am now, because I feel like we've followed a very similar trajectory. In leaving one career that we thought was set for us and we're doing so well with it, now moving into the modelling and acting world, coming out of nowhere for me, essentially 3-4 years ago. I wasn't expecting to be a full-time modeling actor, working in such a vibrant creative space that I am now. I'm absolutely loving it, right?
So when did you get into this, sorry?
Literally, I'm now full-time for 3 years, right? And I left my last job, which was, like a very successful career in biomedical and pharmaceutical science. It's a career that I spent 15 years working in and loving for the most part, but then realizing it wasn't for me. And that realization came in the last probably like four years. And that 1 year where I was, lamenting and going through the thoughts of like, do I want to completely shelve this career that I've built and spent so much time and energy putting into? And the answer was yes, clearly. I wanted to jump into this creative world that I feel engaged, enlivened, like my mindset. And I wake up every morning with the excitement of being on a different set, playing a different character.
How good is it?
Yeah, it's the most profoundly exhilarating thing that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in it, and I'm just loving every day, pretty much every day. There are days that test you, but those days have to come. That's part of the contract of what we do.
Yeah, and you're right, because like, for example, I did a lot of the stuff that you shoot for summer campaigns, you do in the winter. So I was in the old pool scene,
Yeah.
So Melbourne winter, 9 degrees, I'm in a pool sitting there. Imagine, like, I had to basically come across like it's summer. Sitting there smiling, dying inside. So yeah, you get those shoots,
which is funny because I think that shoot I also went for and I got shortlisted for, but I remember you posting online about it and like that was meant to be me.
Yes,
I wasn't.
Yes,
I
stole one.
I was meant to be sitting next to you or in your place, smiling and freezing in that winter.
That's it, man. Well, I'm glad I'm stealing some jobs off you because I don't think you and I, like, obviously because we're the ethics are different, ethnics are different. So what are you, like, ambiguous?
Yeah, so the roles that I typically get are the ones that want some diversity on set. And ethnically ambiguous is the term that a lot of the casting directors and casting agents use. But my background is Eurasian, so I'm half white and half Asian. My mum being Southeast Asian and my dad being European English.
Yeah. I don't think we would be compared in a short list too often. Where it's like, do we go with Peter? Do we go with Luke? I don't think that's happening too much. But for example, I see jobs that I've applied for, and then I've seen you fucking got them. So I think that's going on. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But that just happens. But fuck yeah. When I do get a job where you said that, this fucking makes me happy. Come on.
Likewise,
come on.
I'm happy too because you're everywhere, mate. You're on my socials. You're on TV every now and then, and I pass a billboard here and there, and I see your face. So I'm like,
how funny is it? Yeah, like just you see billboards and you see commercials and you see ads and things like that, and half of the people.
Yeah,
and it's just like I know that person, but it's not even. It's kind of just a normal way of life. It's like, say kids where they're born with a celebrity parent. They don't know any different. Like they're born into a world where that's their life. They don't know what it's like to not be a celebrity. Yeah. So when it comes to say you being on TV or seeing yourself on a billboard or an ad or whatever it is, like it's just kind of like, it's just because we've done it for years now.
Yep.
I didn't sit there and go, wow. I remember the first billboard that I was on. I was like, this is fucking grouse. I took photos and like a big deal. But now it's just kind of like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you still get a little giggle from it, but I think we're kind of normalized to seeing our faces as well as the people we work with on random billboards, on random adverts here and there. It's somewhat normalized now, but I still get a giggle from it, and I love to see it. It's a sign of success, I guess, in the career if you keep popping up here and there and seeing your friends do the same. Yeah,
some of the ones I don't like seeing, man. Like a lot of them I actually don't want to see. And it's kind of like when you're filming it, I'm just like, I don't want to fucking see this. Oh man. What was I going to say? Who do you think does really well in our little field? So I think I say the queen of commercials is Raya. Mm-hmm. Raya, is it Stanford?
Raya Stanford, yeah. I was just chatting to her yesterday, actually.
I'd say she's the queen, but Molly does well. What's Molly's last name?
Richardson, yeah.
Richardson, Molly does really well.
My on-screen partner and wife most of the time. G'day, Molly.
She does really well considering that she's got an American accent. So if she had an Aussie accent, she'd be doing way better.
Yes.
Because imagine us getting thrown into America and we can't do an American stand accent, right?
That's
We've
right.
only got our Aussie.
Yeah.
We'll get visuals, but you're not going to get many speaking. So if she had an Aussie accent, she would be doing even better because she'd be getting way more speaking roles. So she does that good.
Yeah. She does so much, and she treats her weekly work like a well-oiled machine. She does her UGC. She does her TVC stuff, her Steals campaigns. She's got a revolving door of clients that keep on retainer. So she's really smart in doing that, and I've taken some lessons from her as well. So she does a really good Australian accent, but not good enough sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard it. This is pretty good.
No, but it's all a learning lesson. We always get better on each set and each opportunity we get.
I'd say also up and coming, where she's doing really, Addy. Have you shot with Addy?
I shot with Addy a bunch of times. Yeah,
So she's starting to be on everything as well.
I was in New Zealand like for a shoot 3 months ago, and I saw her on a billboard. So I just took a quick snap, sent it over to him, say, "Hey, you're big over in New Zealand," because I keep seeing this one everywhere. She's great, and she brings a great positivity to set. So I think that's really important to have.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into. So we'll start off with how we got started and tips around that. So, if you're looking at getting into this industry, or maybe you've just started, what are the best things? How do we get our feet off the ground type thing? I always say to people, because man, one of the biggest questions I get is, look, how did you get into what you do? How did you build a career in it? That's why I'm wanting to do this podcast. So I'm just like, for now on, I'm just going to send people to this podcast. Yeah. And then when I saw you at the Virgin shoot that we did, and you were telling me about your stuff, I'm like, oh man, I'll do it with you, because then we can kind of go back and forth and it'll be even better. So I always say the first thing is start now, right? So the good old start now. And how I did it is I didn't have any headshots, no professional stuff. I just took photos and videos from my Instagram. Now, I guess I got a little bit of a head start because I had already been creating content for myself on my Instagram page. I started my podcast back in 2019, so I already had experience being on camera and everything like that, and I had semi-professional photos and videos. So that allowed me to take Star Now, which is basically like, if you're in Australia, Seek. It's like you go on Seek and it has a list of jobs. Same type of thing. Star Now is the Seek version for actors, models, and presenters in that industry. So basically, you join this little platform. It's not much, $50-$80 or something like that for 6 months, I think it was.
Yep.
And then you just have a list of jobs, and it might be like, all right, we're shooting a commercial for Honda, and we're looking for a Asian guy that's between 20 and 30 years old. It's 4 hours, and it's paying this. And you just apply for it. And you've just got to create a profile, just kind of like you have a Facebook profile in a way, where you just put a bunch of photos and videos on there. Now, you're probably not going to have a lot of stuff, but these days, just because we live with the camera, you're going to have some photos. So you just upload your Instagram photos, get some of your best stuff, and you start with doing free jobs if you don't have experience and confidence.
Yeah.
That's it. So you just do, there's jobs listed on there for paid, and there's jobs listed on there for free. There's low paid jobs, there's higher paid jobs. So if you don't have much experience or confidence, you start with the free jobs. You get a feel of what it's like to be on set. Then in exchange for you giving your time, they're going to give you the content, right? So you go do a shoot for free, you work 4 hours. They're going to give you the photos and the videos and stuff like that. And you do a bunch of those jobs. You slowly get the content, you build your profile so you can show that you got some experience, and you build your confidence around that. And then slowly you start applying for your first paid job, which might be $100, might be $200. You do that, you slowly build, you get $500, $1,000, $2,000, and so on. What would you say, man, if there's anything different there, someone who wants to kind of get started?
No, you've hit the nail on the head there. Essentially, anyone starting out in this career won't have a portfolio of photos that shows the range and where you slot into. I was going for everything. I was going for athletic attire. I was going for high fashion. I was doing e-com. Where is it that my image fits and slots into? But when you're getting started up in this industry, you want to try and build a portfolio of photos so that you can start to nut down what it is that your look fits, and where you're going to get the most jobs, and where these opportunities are going to go to. So yes, you take the unpaid jobs, understand that you're getting headshots and portfolio shots out of this. Sweet talk the photographer if you can. If you're doing a paid job where you're just an extra or you're featured in the background, have a chat to the photographer at the start. Have a chat and say, if we only spare time, change of scenes, wouldn't mind getting a couple of photos of myself, just lifestyle in the setting, and that could be a really easy and cheap and free way to get a bunch of shots for yourself and save a couple $100 on a photographer. So
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea, because when I go on, this is what I observe most people do, is if you're talent is basically a term that covers actors, models, presenters when you're doing a commercial, right? It's talent. what I observe is the talent walks on set. Most people, what they do is they speak to other talent, and that's about it. And maybe the producer or the person who's been in contact with organising it. I do my best to go around and say hello to every fucking person on the set. So
you do that very well.
Yeah, I go around, I mingle with everyone, and like sometimes you got 20, 30 people on set, yeah? But that's whether it's leads, extras, directors, wardrobes, hair and makeup, camera dudes, lighting dudes, like literally sound guys going around and saying hello and trying to get a conversation with everyone. And the reason why I do that, which is kind of talking about the connection thing and the building like a network type thing.
Yeah.
Number one, it's just kind of nice to do that. I think, you know, you're going to work way better on set when you know the people and you're relaxed. So
absolutely,
you know, if you're kind of in there and you're shooting with a family, you're going to do your best stuff. So if you go in there and you like don't know anyone, getting to know people makes you just kind of relax a bit. Number two, whether or like you believe or not, most other people are nervous. So it relaxes them, helps relax them. Creating a commercial is a team effort. It's not just like you as the actor or the model where it's fucking all on you, which I thought it was back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone's got their thing, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And
for example, they might be shooting a scene and the lighting person operating the lights gets the lighting wrong. And when they go to shoot, they're like, okay, action. And the person's pushing in with the camera or the person's with the sound or the light, whatever it is, the actor, everyone's got their thing and they're all concentrating on their part. Kind of sometimes a little bit nervous, like they got to get their thing right.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time when you're an actor, you think, fuck, the pressure's on me, but everyone else is actually doing the same thing and probably thinking the same thoughts. So getting around there and just having a chat to everyone helps everyone else relax. And then, yeah, like I was speaking to one of the guys at the Virgin, which is he's a new director. And I just would have thought, oh, he's an extra, maybe he's new type thing, and turns out he's kind of getting into directing and stuff like that. And he's like, man, I'd love to use you one day.
Yeah, that's right.
So if I didn't go out there and make my effort to chat to everyone, like that connection wouldn't have happened. And that type of stories happened a million times where it's like I'm chatting to the cameraman, and then it turns out like, hey, I'm actually doing a shoot. So they're part of a big production crew, the camera, but they're doing their own shoot next week. Man, we need someone like you. That shit happens all the time.
It happens religiously, frequently, all the time, and consistently with my experiences on set. Everyone there is there to perform a job, and we all have to work together in order to get the desired results at the end of the day. So knowing that when you're stepping on there, and I used to do the same thing. I used to separate myself, talent with talent, production with production. You know, and production is their job is to execute, you know, all elements of everyone there on the day, and everyone's different experience levels and different abilities and experiences. I know that stepping onto set and having a chat to everyone also, you know, will yield certain opportunities your way. It may not, but at the end of the day, it makes everyone a lot happier, more calm and relaxed and stress-free, even if they're a newbie who's never done this before, or someone who's a seasoned veteran and has been doing this all the time. But at the end of the day, it creates a harmonious, stress-free environment if you talk to everyone. And a potential out of that is that you're talking to creatives who have got other creative projects, who may want to involve you in those ideas and those projects that they have going on the sides. We work in an industry full of creatives, full of people. Creatives are people who have ideas, and these ideas lead to opportunities. So it is always important to chat to everyone, essentially, to not just the DOP, the director of photography, or the producer there. Those will probably yield you the most results, chatting to them, but chatting to the lighting guys who are working on another project, who know that they are still searching for a lead of a Eurasian background. That is a great opportunity that you didn't know was there. But if you have the conversation, if you build rapport and relationship with these people, they're going to remember you. And they're going to remember you that that may come handy in the weeks or months to come, because there might be something else that they can use you for. And because you made an impact, they remember you. So it's important to have that. And could be just having a chat to an extra who is a director, who's trying to create a short film indie that you might be involved in. So
sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how would you... I would say half my jobs would be referrals or past customers. You like... Where would you be at?
I'd say a third. But I'm not putting myself out as much as you, I think. So I need to get that up to 50 as well.
I mean, look, I haven't done the numbers, mate. I haven't run the numbers. But I'd say roughly about, half. Like if I think the 2 shoots that I had this week, both return customers.
Yep.
So it literally would be half. But if you think about that example that we just used about going around and chatting to everyone. So let's just say virgin shoot, 30 people I spoke to, right? Next shoot, there's only 5. I speak to 5. Next shoot, there's 7. I speak to 7. Next shoot, there's 20. Next shoot, there's 45. You're talking in a small amount of time, that's 100 people who you've had a conversation with. The chances are that one of them is either directly involved with casting or they overhear someone. Because like you'd probably get it. Do you get like people send you screenshots of when other casting agents are looking for a particular person?
Absolutely.
People send it to you. And you said even before is that you recommended me for that car. What is it?
Yeah, so Volkswagen.
So that's going on, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about that compounding over time, all these relationships that you're building, I think most people who get in this industry just think that, okay, how do I actually get more shoots? I've just got to apply for shoots. And yes, of course.
Yeah.
But there's this next level thing, which is building relationships. And for me, that's become half of my fucking work.
Yeah, absolutely. If you drill it down, it's all about connection, right? Connection to the right people who have those opportunity. Connection to the camera as well, as I'm staring down the camera. Connection to your colleagues, and it's building that relationship and understanding that there is a connection that you have to create on set to sell the product, the client, the message, the brand. It's all about the connections. So understanding that when you step on set is that it's about connections, and those connections will yield opportunities that you either see coming or you may have an indirect connection to from someone who's just sending you a job ad that's just come out of nowhere, but you fit the perfect criteria for.
Yeah. Okay, some people watching this are going to go, easy for you guys. You guys have got experience. I'm just a beginner. Luke, not like you. I haven't had experience being on video. I've got no confidence, and I'm pretty sure you had, before you got full time in this, you've been doing this a little bit, or you did in the past or something. Did you say?
So just to give you a brief understanding of where I've come from. I mean, I spent 15 years essentially chained to a desk. I wouldn't really talk to my colleagues every day. They weren't sort of the same people that I wanted to talk to. So I was literally 7 hours at the desk, 7 to 8 hours a day, typing away, just going through jargon and crap that I didn't really care about anymore. And this was 5 years ago. I started getting back into the modeling and acting, doing it part-time, taking a lot of sick days, taking a lot of personal days. And those personal days were the best personal sick days that I was taking, because I was on set, either playing a nervous surgeon or a Japanese ninja for one of these, these are the roles where I would step away. I'm no longer a guy, and being a pharmaceutical scientist, I was working in a very regimented, regulated industry that didn't speak to my strengths or who I am as a person. So I got to transport myself on a sick day and become someone completely different, but feel so engaged, enlivened, and excited by what I was doing that, the penny dropped, and it's like, I need to do this more often. I need to be doing this as a full-time rather than not. So I transitioned out of that pretty quickly and just handed my notice. I wanted to become a full-time actor and model, and that's where things sort of landed, right? So I just embraced the uncomfortability of not having a salary anymore, and embrace the excitement of being able to do this, maybe 2 or 3 times a week would be great. And I managed to start to build the frequency of work up from 0 jobs a week to many jobs, every week and every month. But I started off with nothing, and I was very uncomfortable as well. I didn't have the confidence that I have now, but the consistency of work and then getting more opportunities as they came through one by one compounded and built a confidence within me. I became so much more sure of myself because I'm excited and I'm doing the things that I'm loving, and it's showing as well on the results, on the stills and on the motion adverts that I'm seeing myself in.
Yeah, it's like one thing I always talk about is following your heart in life and doing what you love, and just like waking up like excited for the day.
Yeah.
And loving what you do. It is, if you've never experienced it, because I think back, I saw this little, which I saved, I'm going to create some content of it. It's Morgan Freeman doing this little scene where he kind of wakes up and then he's like he kind of freaks out a little bit, but then he remembers something, he just does this little smile. Have you seen that?
No, I think I have actually.
And like people, like they turn into memes, yeah? And it might be like when it's Sunday and you freak out about Monday, but then you remember you're unemployed. So he wakes up, he freaks out, and then he just like does this like smile, isn't yeah? And I'm like, I saw that, and I'm like, that's the feeling when you love your work.
Yeah.
You don't freak out on a Sunday, and you don't have that anxiety because man, I used to have that. Do you remember having that on Sunday? And you can't even enjoy your Sunday because you're thinking about work next day.
Yeah, the dread of the Monday, and they call it Mondayitis, but Mondayitis went through from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's such a rewarding feeling, loving what you do, and I think that a lot of people don't believe it's possible. For them, but it really is. You just have to. It's kind of like we go to uni for how long did you go to uni for?
5 years. I did a double degree. Yeah.
Imagine you treat it just like the standard. You go to uni, you get a degree. That's pretty common. You're there for 4 or 5. Some people are doing 10 years. If you treated your career something that you love the same, where it's like, okay, don't just expect to wake up and you're full time in commercials and ads tomorrow.
Yeah.
It may take you 5 years where you got to do a commercial once every couple of months. Take your sick days, and you go part time. And then you go full time, that type of thing. And it may take you 5, 6, 7 years to get there, but it's worth it because then, like I said, that feeling of loving what you do is fucking priceless. It's one of the greatest feelings.
Yeah.
And when you don't enjoy what you do for work, and some people are going to be like, I like what I do. Trust me, you don't. Like when people, what they do is they like the people there, maybe. They don't love what they do. Like as in, I will do what I do for free. You know what I mean? As in this podcast, I'm not getting fucking paid for it. Like, okay, we'll be making millions one day, but like, I just love doing this. Like I woke up this morning, I was like, I get like the nervous podcast day where I'm like, got to set everything up, and it's like, it's a big, I got to get everything together, and it's like, it's all the big steps, and it's like the anticipation of getting the guest in.
Yeah.
I just love that feeling, yeah?
Yeah.
And when you can actually have the same thing for yourself, and maybe commercials and ads is not your thing, there's something else that you want to become, but just will say, don't believe it's like, oh, only Luke and Peter can do it, so I can't do it. No, it can be. It just means that you've got to put some work in.
Absolutely.
Do you need there's people out there going, okay, Luke and Peter, you guys have got experience in this and you had previous experience before you got into this. What about me? I got no experience behind camera. Do you need experience to get into becoming an actor, model, doing this stuff on commercials and ads?
Jeez, I think experience is built from day dot, just starting essentially. You can go to. I mean, I didn't follow this path in any way because I had a tiger mum as a kid, which is one of those mums who would
That's a tiger mum.
would essentially, my mum being Asian, is very strict and never believed that you can make a career out of modeling and acting, right? I know there's a lot of you out there that will have parental...
For sure.
Yeah, parents that will say the same thing. You need to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or you're not going to be gainfully employed or successful in life. So that was drilled into me at an early age. I had to unlearn that mindset, because with that mindset sets limitations on what you can do, and realizing your true purpose and authenticity of who you are. So I knew that I needed to unlearn those things just before I started to really delve into it. But what my mum did do was, as a tiger mum, used me as a child to do modeling and acting. So just modeling, sorry. As a child, would sit me at the, like she would use me, dress me up in a suit and make me walk runway. And I was petrified because I didn't want to be in front of people. I wasn't in that mindset yet. But this is going at 9 or 10 years old. Walk to the end of the runway, walk back, don't fall down, or smack you with some chopsticks. that would be the punishment. So I did that, and I did that like 3 or 4 times a year for like 5 years, and then did it, scattered here and there. And then getting into uni, I had to like really focus my mindset on being a scientist and building a career in that way. But that was my experience from an early age, right? And that was the idea that stuck at the back of my mind and said, I could actually do this. I know a lot of people around me, and I met a lot of people doing this as well, that I can do this on and off while I'm being a scientist. And then more and more, I was getting more gigs. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just shelve the whole science career and let's just dive headfirst into modeling and acting. And around that, there's a lot of other creative things you can do. And that was my initial start, my experience, right? So yes, a little experience helps, and yes, some formal training does help, but that wasn't my pathway into modeling and acting. I put myself on sets, I made myself uncomfortable, I embraced those as lessons and went from lesson to lesson and got better at it.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar, man. I did my first acting course a few months ago. So 3 months into doing this stuff, I did my first formal training.
Yeah, I
just learnt on set. First job that I did, shitting myself, so bloody nervous. And I think as you do it more and more often, you slowly, the nerves drop, and then you turn into excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sitting with a very mature male actor. I would say model, because he still gets trepidation. He loses all consciousness and the lines that he was meant to say on set as soon as something's been thrown out that he didn't prepare for, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't have that anymore. I can very easily insert myself into a setting, not know what the client is, what the brand message is, and just learn, like riffing literally. And I call it raw dogging a set. You step on, not know what you're going to do, not know what your lines are. Because I don't have that fear and that stress that overrides your mentality. I don't have that really anymore. I do have it every now and then, but not to the degree that I had it starting off 3 years ago. So that's sort of like a verifier that it becomes easier. It becomes way easier on set, and the more environments you expose yourself to, you just you learn to adapt and become better at your craft.
Yeah, I think that's a good one from a mindset point of view, especially with speaking. I mean, it's not just speaking, even modelling. I remember on the Virgin set, I was with one of the partners that I was doing, and how they were kind of reacting to the shots was like way different to me.
Yeah.
In regards to, it's like, oh, I wonder how I went. I was just kind of fuck, they'll tell you if you did it like they want it different. It's like, no biggie. But yeah, the mindset of if you're so like, I'm going to stuff this up, that blocks you from delivering your best stuff, as opposed to, it's okay to make a mistake. Like I did a speaking in kind of an instructional shoot yesterday for blinds, which is quite technical. Yeah. And of course, I'm like forgetting the script at times, and it's I think when you do it over and over and over, I think back when I first started, of course, I would have been like, oh my God, so like I've got to get this right. But now it's just like these stuff ups and the mistakes are actually part of it. Yes. And the whole crew expect it and they're fine with it. So if you just actually remind yourself that I actually don't have to be perfect. Part of the whole process is making a mistake. The crew know this and they're completely fine with it. They will direct you if they want it differently done or whatever. So you can just relax your mind. Yeah. Really relax.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you can somehow dissolve that stress through, like a a pre-filming routine that you go through to help. That I used to do that sometimes, and now I don't need it as much. But
what's a pre-film routine you mean?
Like to get the nerves out, right? Sure. Like if you're going to be a lead as well, a lot of the filming is going to center around you, so you can't take it as easy as some of the featured or support acts or extras behind you. You kind of have to direct it. You kind of have to lead it in a lot of ways. I would try to just go for a quick run, quick couple of push-ups. I don't know, something just to get the nerves out and energy, because there's a lot of nervous energy that's pent inside your body, wanting to get those lines out. And I remember doing to what you were just saying before as well, that you're not expected to be perfect, but you are expected just to deliver lines, particularly if it's something like that, like a instructional e-learning module or whatever it is. I did a shoot for a trade service platform, and I just said fuck. I accidentally do it, but this is a tradie service platform where tradies typically swear a lot on things, but they liked it. Yeah. They said, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's I think the line was, nobody likes a fucking cowboy. That was my line that I gave out. But it's like, no one likes a cowboy on a construction site, because that's how you get killed, something like that. And I said, and I accidentally let it slip, nobody likes a fucking cowboy. And they said, actually, that's a hook. That grabs your eye, because the word fuck.
So you just weren't thinking, you just popped it out.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm stepping into the mindset of a tradie. Tradies swear all the time. I let it slip, and they go, you know what? We like it. We're just going to bleep the word fuck, but we want you to say it. So there was perfection in the imperfection of that moment that we went and used it. Yeah. And now I'm seeing it on the socials.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's kind of like the magic, yeah?
That's the magic.
Where you just be yourself and you kind of forget where you're at, and the magic comes out.
Yeah.
If you're so like stressed,
it makes
like
it
blocking
more. It makes it more authentic. It really does, and that's what you want. That's what you want. You want to engage the viewer in an authentic way, because if you don't, people see through it in a lot of ways. It doesn't sell.
Talking about like experience, do you know experience? This is what I say in regards to what determines you getting a job, right? Apart from you knowing the crew, of course, if you know the crew and you're being referred, you're more likely to get it. But take away that stuff. What determines then, tell me your thoughts on this. What determines you getting a job? Number one is the look. So if they're pretty strict on, they're wanting a black girl, it doesn't matter how fucking good and experienced I am, I ain't getting the job. Right? So that's the first thing, is that you got to have the right look, and
blackface doesn't work anymore.
Blackface, it doesn't work. Sorry, mate. Right. So, like, you know what I mean? And like, they're literally looking for, especially with commercials and ads, they're looking for every different type of person. So I always say that there's some sort of role out there for you, for sure. It doesn't matter who you are. But the first thing is the look. You got to have the right look that they're going for. There's roles where they're looking for disabled people, right? I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get, they're like, we're looking for someone who's genuinely disabled. I'm like, well, I'm not genuinely disabled. So if they're like playing a character who's disabled, well, then I could do that. Yeah. But then if they're genuinely disabled, I'm not going to be able to do it.
In the commercial world, that's not going to work. But on the feature film side, they could look you in. You know, they could look into it.
For sure. The second thing is, once you've got the look where it's like, for me, Caucasian male between maybe 30 to 40, right? The second thing is confidence. Because a lot of this stuff with commercials, like there are some commercials where it requires like you being a good actor, yeah? But a lot of the stuff that you get on Star Now doesn't require a lot of skills. So you've just got to, for example, the common lifestyle modeling shoot, which is so bloody easy. It'll be Nando's, and you're sitting in a Nando's restaurant and you're eating Nando's, and they've just got cameras around filming you eating Nando's. Now, doesn't require a lot of skills apart from legitimately relaxing and just being you. That's it. So the third thing is skill set. So I just kind of will say, if you're thinking that I don't have the skills, like Luke, you've done an acting course, and P, you've done this. I would say that's the actual last thing. Number one is that you just got to have the right look, depending on what they're looking for in a specific ad.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to your confidence, because your confidence will get you very far in this commercial world. Different in doing movies. Like you legit need to be a good actor, right? So you're doing a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
You generally do, but commercials, it's not the case. Now you've got high paid commercials where you've got to have skills and high confidence, but I'm talking about low paid stuff. You really don't need much skill. So don't be freaking out where you're like, I've got to do an acting course. I've got to do a modeling course. Like, okay, yeah, if you want, but I think what a lot of people will do is they'll go, I want to get into commercials, and they'll go, I can't get into it until I first do an acting course or a modeling course. That's rubbish. It's BS. What that is that your brain is basically going, this is uncomfortable. I'm going to do something that's a little bit more comfortable before I jump into it. First, jump into it. Go do your free jobs. Get some experience, get a taste of what it's like. And like I said, 3 years until I actually did formal acting training.
Yeah.
Thoughts on all that?
Yeah, honestly, with any work that you're going to jump into and you're a newbie, you're going to want to, like, taking it from my example, I didn't have the confidence to step on a set and deliver lines at the start. I had to do extras roles. I had to do very easy still shoots where they were essentially looking for someone with my essential looks, like that's what they wanted. 70% of the role was, you got to look like this, and you got to deliver certain movements and actions so that they can capture pretty basic, pretty simple imagery. And from that, my confidence started to build up, understanding that most of the time these shoots want a certain look and want a certain maybe smile or eye color, whatever it is. That's the role at the start, and you use that to build onto the more complicated, harder requirements of other jobs where you need to deliver dialogues. You have to hit your beats at certain times in order to give that exact, smile and connection.
We'll zoom in on that shot back there. Okay, let's move into, so we've just spoken about beginners, how to get started, and some stuff that would still be valuable to, peeps that are already in this industry. But let's move on to how to book more jobs. So if you're already in this industry and you're already booking jobs, let's go through a bunch of things on how we book more shoots consistently, how we actually make more money. And obviously, if you're a beginner, this is still going to be valuable, so don't turn this off. Stay here and we go get the popcorn and sit down. So the first thing I'm going to start off with, how do you book more jobs? It's pretty simple. Apply for more jobs.
Done. Turn it off.
Turn it off. It's a numbers game. Yeah. So if you're like sitting around being like super critical on what you're applying for, and you apply for 1 or 2 jobs, the chances of you getting it, especially when you're new, are very, very low. It might take you, your conversion rate might be 50 to 1. So it means you've got to apply for 50 jobs to get 1. When you get good, your conversion rate might be 5 to 1, right? So when you're starting out, you might have to apply for 100 jobs till you get 1. And it is what it is. There's no complaining about it. The people who are kind of at the top have gone through the same process. You've just got to do the same. So being on more platforms will allow you more exposure to get more job. What I mean by platform, Star Now is one platform. Another one is The Right Fit. Another one is casting networks. What are a couple more that you're on? Because you're on a bunch, aren't you? Because like you were saying shit, and I'm like, I never heard of that. I never heard of that one.
It's a numbers game, right? It is a numbers game. So the more, it's exposure theory, right? Exposing yourself to as many potential clients and as many production teams, studios, photographers as you can. So utilizing casting.com is another one. You can also, check out the Instagram pages of all these production teams, and I keep a list of them as well, like all the major ones, all the casting teams. You've got, your Chameleon Casting, your Northside, Macintosh.
Oh, because they do like a story, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So looking on, like keeping a catalog and a database of all the casting teams and agencies, And they always post onto their socials seemingly before they post on these platforms, just because it's an easier thing to do, right? They just rig up a poster, post on there. And if you're following them, then clearly, you've done your research and you've done your homework, and they're, slipping in a DM or applying to their email they have listed on that poster can get you a look in faster than having to go through the hundreds of applications that they get on these platforms. So that's been a big one for me, is that using the social media platforms for each of these casting and production agencies can get you in front of them before all the other
That's good,
candidates.
Man. I don't do that. I've got maybe 1, 2.
That's why I'm getting more jobs, mate.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's really good too. It's really good.
Yeah, I've written that down. I'll have to get like the list of the things. But even when I see them, I actually have even when I see things like that, I've gone, for some reason, maybe I think like it's not legit, but I'm like, even when I've kind of seen like We the People do it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't do it.
Yeah.
Why don't I do it?
No, it's really good because it generally gets you. Yeah, it generally gets you on top of the pile before the other ones start to stack up.
Sure, yeah, and they got straight access to your profile.
They got straight access,
like,
and that's
boom.
why you got to have a good profile as well, because they're going to see that and they're going to make a decision. Is he funny, dramatic? Is he too much? Is he stylish? All this other stuff pops in. So that's why I've created a dedicated profile of my work now to give you a broad understanding of my range, but also the type of person I am on set. And I'm a pretty positive, approachable human being that likes to have a good chat and a good yarn.
So you've got your kind of personal profile, and then you've got a
business orientated profile. Because I treat, it's been the biggest mindset shift for me, is that I'm not just a model and actor. I'm a business as well, and I got to treat my energy, my effort, my time like a business, and that means chasing up as many leads as I can, sowing seeds, throwing out fishing lines, and that's going through all these platforms, but also having multiple agencies that represent me in specific parts, whether it's acting for commercial or acting for feature films, TV shows, dramatic and narrative stuff. And then I have commercial modeling, and then you could go further as well, because I play the long game in my mindset. I treat it as I want a long career in this, and I'm not going to limit myself to just Australia. I'm Eurasian, and I understand, I'm self-aware that my look works very well in Asia. So I have Asian representation as well. I've got an agency in Singapore who puts me for work, because these skills that we have as an actor and model are transferable on an international global scale. So why just stick to Australian-based jobs when you could be applying for jobs in Europe, America, and Asia, depending on where you think you'd fit best?
So you reckon I need to get a Chinese agent then?
You'd work well in China, mate. I can see you in Shenzhen doing a car commercial,
an Aussie. I've done like a couple of shoots with like Asian, like international, like Chinese or something, done here.
Yeah.
But it's like they're using the content over there, and like it's the typical Aussie dude where it's like over the top. And it's like you're playing a surfer. You're like, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, yo, mate. Yeah. It's like, are you seriously using this? But yes, okay. I like the international agent thing.
It works. And this year alone, I've done...
How do you find that? How do you find an international agent?
Well, if you're going for going back to what I was saying before, I created a business profile on Instagram, and I just compiled a lot of the work that I've done, a lot of the complicated dialogue stuff, a lot of the presenting stuff, e-com. I've got some high fashion, I've got athletic attire, and I've also got some talents, like me playing tennis and me doing some random acrobatic stuff as well. So that was just a nice profile that caught the eye of some PR agencies in China, and they reached out to me while I was on holiday, and they said, would you be willing to fly over and do a mobile phone commercial in Shanghai? I'm like, I'm down for that.
Sick.
So paid accommodation, flights, and everything. So
I haven't got an international shoot yet, and I said my goal this year is to get an international shoot. So I want a 30K international shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want it.
I've had a couple of those come up, and a couple of those slipped through my fingers because I wasn't prepared to do it.
What do you mean you weren't prepared?
This industry works on time pressures, right? You've got 48 hours to turn around and audition to us, and I'm not able to do that because I'm on set for the next 2 days, or I'm drowning in admin that I've got to get done as well, and I've got other auditions and self-tapes I need to get through. So if you're going to work in China or Asia Pacific, they work on a schedule completely different to the Western world. Like, you've got to turn things around like crazy. I've been on set in China for 22 hours one day, 18 hours the next, really? And then I think 16 hours before that on a 4-day shoot schedule. Yeah. So you're not going to be able to squeeze in an audition when you're sleep deprived 22 hours on set and you're trying to lead a TV commercial.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. All right, well, I got to reach out to a Swedish agent, do I?
No. So what you can do is, chuck into your whatever AI generative platform you use and just start researching what agencies do international representation.
Yep.
And Singapore is a good place, as well as Shanghai as well, because they source models everywhere and they fly them in. If you're based in those cities, you're probably going to get more of a look in for this mid-range jobs. But those higher range jobs, 30K plus, they'll fly you over and you can treat it as a holiday.
Oh, so good. All right. So next one would be, be on more platforms, apply for more shoots. The agent thing, talking about agents, is what's your thoughts with this? Because do I go an exclusive agent or do I go an open agent? I haven't gone any exclusives. I have got a bunch of open agents, and I've got one that I've actually signed with. All the rest I haven't even signed with, but they get me jobs.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple. Like, their business is wanting to make money, and if they see like you're someone that they can actually make money from, because they're making generally 20% of whatever the fee is on the shoot. So say, for example, it's a $5,000 shoot, they're going to make $1,000. So it's in their interest to be looking around for people. So I've got a bunch of, probably about 3 agents where I haven't even signed with them, but they send me jobs.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on, because that's me, so I've got about 4 agents, technically, and they're all open. What's your thoughts on being exclusive compared to open?
Yeah, so that's where I've got one up on you, because I've got five agencies that represent me.
That's what it is. That's why you're getting more.
It's a numbers game, right? The more agencies you have, the more fishing lines you're throwing out there. So the more chances you're going to catch a fish. You have to be proactive with this approach, but you also have to be understanding that everything is built on relationships. So you have to have a relationship with your agent, all 5 of them, and you have to have an understanding with all 5 of them as well, if that's the case. So it's being very communicative and understanding that the relationship exists with this agent because they're going to cover acting, or you're going to have another agent that covers lifestyle modeling, and then you can have another agent that solely operates for jobs in Asia Pacific. And I think, like you, I have a couple that just reach out to me to do direct bookings, but I haven't signed with them. Yeah. So I've got a relationship with them that they have my profile, but they don't. I'm not signed with them. Yep. They just get me the jobs, and they can take their 15 to 20% cut, which is totally fine because I'm getting the work and they're getting paid as well. So it's just delineating which agencies represent you and which ones have priority if there is a conflict. If one is both modelling and acting, and may not be. So I've got one in Sydney, I've got one in Melbourne. So that's why I'm flying up to Sydney a lot, because I know that Sydney wants me for a lot of other things that Melbourne doesn't offer. So it's just exposing yourself to the greatest pool of clients and the greatest amount of work that wants your certain look or your certain talents and skills. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Next one is, this is a star now type thing, or like the right fit, is applying for small shoots just with counter offering it with your rate. So I get a lot of little smallies here, and I generally would have, for example, my minimum that I would do a call out for is generally $450, right? Generally. but there might be times where it could be slow where I would accept $300, right? So basically what I do is, depending on how busy things are, I will, if there's, say for example, there's a job on Star Now and it's like 2 hours for $150. I'll go, hey, I'd love to apply for this if you can do 350. Or hey, I'd love to apply for this if you can do 400.
Yeah.
I get heaps of little jobs like that, your 400s, your 450s, just by me applying for those lot of small jobs. A lot of people who are in this industry go, I'm not doing it for $100. I'm not doing it for $200. Fair enough. But just say, hey, I'll do it, but I'll do it for this. And again, numbers game. My conversion rate with that might be 1 in 10, but it's still, this all adds up. You're going, how does Luke book so many shoots? How does Peter book so many shoots? It's not just us passively sitting here and going, look at our faces, come to us. Of course, there's parts of that to do with our skills and experience, but we're literally actively going out there doing all this stuff, which a lot of people in this industry aren't doing. And it comes down to, in this case, is that we're just applying for more jobs. We're getting in front of more people. So, 5 bloody agents, 4 agents applying for jobs. And I don't know if you do this, but applying for small shoots where I'm like, boom, hey, I'd love to do this if you can do it for this. And this applies with anything. Sometimes I'll see a shoot and it's advertised for $600 and I'm like, man, based off that shoot, no, I'll do it for $1,500. And there has been literally jobs where it's been, one job that I did, it was offering $500. I said, I'll do it for $2,000. They gave it to me. You might be like, as if they're going to do that. You don't know what the hell's going on. You got no idea what is going on, what they could do, the reason why they've made the offer at $500 or it is. Apply for more jobs and just go, hey, I will love to do this, but if you can do it for this. And again, you never know what you get yourself into. So you may as well do it. A lot of people are holding back and just going, $200, I'm not going to apply for it. You're missing out.
Yeah.
This is not going to work if you're brand new. Yeah. This is only going to work if you are you're good at what you do and you can pull bigger numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very contextual to where you are in your career. If you are starting off, if you're a few years in or a couple of years in, if you've got a body of work behind you, it gives you more leverage to ask for more. That you can show that you've got more than what they're asking for. Like you can bring acting skills, you can bring contortionist skills if they're required. If you're multi-talented, multifaceted, it gives you more of a greater seat at the table to actually say, you know what, I think this role deserves more and I can ask for it. And those smaller jobs can lead to other jobs as well. It gets you on set that they loved you for that $200 role that was there for 2 hours. Well, we've got something bigger coming up that we'd like to use you for, and that's going to pay 10 times as much. So taking the smaller roles and asking for more, there's no harm in it, and there's always a negotiation. And what I like to use as well to make those smaller jobs turn into medium-sized jobs is to reference it against previous work, but also there is the MEAA rates that the Australian entertainment and media industry is governed by, and you can sort of extrapolate from that what an hourly rate is and what 2 years usage is worth, and that will give you a better idea of if this role is something that should be paying 5 times as much, And I like to use that as a reference all the time to ask for more. And actually, perfect example, I just got back from Sydney for a shoot for Stockland, which I was telling you about. Yep. They quoted me on the ad, 7 hours, $1,500. And I'm like, that's not bad. I'll take that. And I had shot for them 3 weeks prior, so I've got this relationship with them now. Yep. But they chuck, and this is pretty normal, by the way. They'll send the call sheet the day before, and then I see my name, and I've got another extra 5 hours on set. So you gotta appreciate your worth and your value and what you're doing for the client. And those 5 hours, I could be doing something else for someone else. So I asked for, and I used the MEAA rates, and I said, well, I think this extra 5 hours is probably worth another $900. Yeah. And there was some negotiation, but it's an extra 5 hours, so let's just make it $1,000.
Yeah, well,
so
if they've said,
they gave it to me.
If they've said 7 hours, $1,500.
Exactly.
In that case, what I'd do is I'd be like, well, okay, if it's $1,500, 7, I'll be like dividing that by the hourly rate and then going, okay, if you want me for an extra 5 based off this.
100%, yeah.
So a lot of people, again, would be kind of pushed over in that. And again, this ain't going to work if you're new. If you're getting your first job, fuck no, you get offered $1,500. Don't call the shots. This is only if you're got backing behind you and you know that it's like, okay, look, I can do this. I shouldn't be done. This will happen all the time. So make sure it's things like, and this is another one, this is a good tip. Sometimes you'll get a shoot where it's like, I think it's going to be about 5 hours, right? And in my case, let's just say I might be like, all right, I'll do it for $1,000, but every hour after 5 hours is at $150 per hour. Make sure you put that before you agree to it, because otherwise, if it's like, it might be 5 hours and then it ends up being 6 or 7, then you've just worked for free. So before you get into things, just say, hey, yep, sounds good. I just want to confirm 5 hours. One thing I do is $1,000 is great. Anything over 5 hours, $150 per hour, whatever the rate is that you would charge with that, right?
Yeah. It's the important thing is information is power, right? So understanding that a half day is 4 hours, a full day is generally 8 hours, and beyond, I think 10 hours. I think going against the MEAA rates, that should be time and a half. So I'm on set now for 12 hours, so I know that those extra 2 hours and 5 hours in additional, half of that should be time and a half, so that you can add your rate and multiply it by 1.5, and that gives you the leverage, I guess, to ask for more, and they can't say no because this is industry standard, and mandated by MEAA. So information is power.
That's a good one. One thing I do as well is if it's like something that's not local, they might be like, hey, it's $1,500 for this, right? But let's just say it's down the peninsula.
Yep.
I'd be like, hey, can I get travel allowance with that? And it's not like I'm like, hey, I'll do it, but you got to give me travel allowance. It's the way that you ask.
Yeah.
It's simply like this. Hey, the shoot's in Mornington. Oh, it's probably going to take about an hour and a bit to get there and back. Is it okay to just chuck in $50 or $100 for travel? Is it okay you chuck in $50 or $100? I won't say 50 or 100. I'll probably either say, is it okay you just chuck in $100 for travel?
Yeah.
Or chuck in $50? I would say 80% of people say yes to that. Just that one little line.
Yeah.
Is it okay you chuck in for, boom, 80% say yes. Money for doing one little line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the simplest of things. Just a cup of petrol, chuck in $50. And to be honest, anything outside of 25 kilometers from the CBD of a city, that's where travel allowance should kick in. It's roughly around $1 a kilometer after that. So knowing that, they really can't say no. And then you go, this is a production that's costing $50,000. For all of production, all of talent on board. So an extra $100 just to cover petrol for travel allowance there and back, which is taking 2 hours out of your day. Totally worth it. I would say yes to that.
Yeah. Okay. The old, what's your rates? When someone, what's your rates? Don't ever say, I charge this much. My rates are $150 an hour, $200 an hour, whatever it is, $50 an hour. Don't ever say that. Do not ever give your fee until you've got the information like this. So if someone reaches out to me on Insta, this happens a lot, right? Hey, Luke, we've got this shoot coming up. We're just looking for a guy to play a dad. What's your rates?
Yep.
I don't know what's it for. Like, is it for a company, they're a startup, they've got no money? Or is it for Toyota, who've got millions of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
My rates are going to be different depending on what the company is, who the company is. Where is it going to be used? Is it going to be on a TV commercial? Is it going to be just an organic social media ad? What am I doing in the ad? Does it require more of a skill set that less people can do? So for example, if I'm just sitting there smiling, that is easier to do than me speaking, right? So if it's speaking, I'm going to charge more. So there's all these things that you ask. So that's what I basically say. I'm like, no probs. Thanks for reaching out, Harry. Can I get all the details about the shoot? Things like, what's it all about? What do you need me to do? What's the duration of the shoot? What's the location of the shoot? What's the usage? Where's the content actually going? Then that way I'll be able to figure out my rate. Then when they give me all the details, guess what I say?
What?
I still don't give them my rate. Still don't give them a rate because, for example, they might be willing to pay $2,000 and I go, oh, I'll do it for $1,000.
Yeah.
So I say, thanks for all those details. Hey, You give me an idea of what you're looking at doing here, and then we can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they come back and then they go $500 and they go, oh, you know what? Hey, I was thinking more like $1,000. Here's the reason why, which what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or they go $2,000. I'm like, beauty, I would have done it for $1,000. So don't show the old. What is it? Don't show your cards.
Yeah, don't show your cards.
Don't show your cards.
It's so brilliantly put though, because on some of these platforms you use, they're going to ask for you to put your rates down, and I use the old real estate method, which is to lowball you, at an auction, right? You say, oh, the house is going to go for 800 grand, but really it's going to go 20% above that, but it gets the people in the door, right? Yep. I use that same mindset with setting my rates. I put a lowball rate, like $100, but really I'm aiming for the 150 and above, and they'll see that rate and it's like, you know what? He's negotiable from what we've seen from his rates. And some of these you do have to list your rates, but I use the same mindset as well. It's like you got to feel out the information about what's required of you, how big the client is, what they got in the essential budget bank account to actually make this thing happen. And then you can structure, and remember, this is collaborative. It's always collaborative. You're collaborative on set, you might as well be collaborative with your negotiation on payment. Right. So, yeah, I will feel out all the things that are needed, where they're coming from, what they have in the bank for talent, and then I'll quote them up essentially for the job, commensurate with what they need from me skill-wise and experience-wise.
So you're saying, say, the right fit, where they're like open to offers, you're putting your rate.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you ideally want 150 an hour, but you chuck in 100 to get in there. Then they reach out and go, hey, Peter, man, we'd love to for you the job. And then you go, okay, what are the details? Then you go, okay, based off those details, my rate would be more like 150. So you do like that.
Yeah. Just because, they'll
That's
see
a good one.
With these platforms, they're trying not to use agents, right? So they're trying to cut out that 20% in service fee that they would be charged with if they would go through an agency. So they're using these platforms to save money. It's a budget-conscious decision to use these platforms. So using that same method, I'm going to try and attract clients by showing that I'm more economical or budget-conscious.
Surprise, motherfucker! You're speaking to the king.
You'll see my body of work and my portfolio of work and like the dazzling smile and the abilities I've got, and you know what? He's actually worth more, and we're willing to pay him more because he's good, and that's how I get my foot in the door and how I increase my rate.
Nice. Okay. Another thing, the right fit, they charge. I think they charge 10% because I'm a
pro
member. Pro. Still 10%, 15% if you're not, is it? Or 20%? 15%?
That's right. Yeah.
I ask the people. I basically say in my little thing, "Hey, I'd love to apply for this, but you have to pay me outside the right fit." I say that.
So I'll go even one better.
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. So they have a filtration system, and I hope I don't get banned by the right fit for this.
They'll be watching this for sure.
They might, but anyway, I get around that. They have a filter, so you can't put any personal contact information on there, right? They immediately block the message, and you cannot converse with the client. So that forces you to use the right fit, where they take their 15% if you're not a pro member. What you can do is, if you've got a Google Gmail account, that response from the right fit goes to your Gmail, and then you write back on Google rather on the platform, and you can send all your contact information, and it doesn't get blocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you really?
I literally just did it a minute ago.
I didn't know that.
While you were talking, I was just doing it on the side.
There you go. I'm not even paying attention. What I do is, because you can do Insta. You just basically say, contact me on Insta. Here's my username. You don't put the @ sign. You just put the username. You just say, here's my username.
Yeah.
So you can do that. It's way around it. Didn't know you could do the email thing though.
Yeah.
All right. So we're about to move into the last section, but one more thing that I've got around how to book more jobs, make more money. One thing that I do, especially around when does it get quiet for our industry? December, January. Yeah. So the second half of December, first half of January, dead, quiet. Now, in those, and this is the challenging thing about doing our this industry is that, okay, it's great when it's great, but then it does die and you don't get paid. So you have to figure out how do I make more money? One thing that I do around about November is I message everyone that I've worked with, and I basically have a copy and paste message. Hey Pete, man, what's going on? Hope you're well. Just thought I'd check in. You got any shoots coming up?
Yeah.
Again, numbers game. So I might send this to hundreds of people, and I will get a bunch of people that say, oh, you know what? I'm actually looking for a dude. So super tech. Like I do that every year towards the end of November. And I get my Decembers pretty full.
That's really, really smart, because there is a shutdown during the switch between this year and next year, and those three weeks generally, a lot of the production teams shut down, but they're also budgeting for the next year. So it's a great time to reach out in the November, December period, because now they're thinking about 2027 and what projects we need to do. So you putting your name in an email and reaching out to them puts you on the headshot board.
Headies.
And they go, you know what? Luke was great. Luke was great at that production that we had. Let's see if we can slot him in for something this year. And it's just the right timing, because they're budgeting as well. So they're thinking about their projects for the year. I haven't done that myself, but I should do that.
All right. So now we're going into treating. I mean, look, we've already spoken about things treating your career like a business, but let's kind of talk around like productivity and optimization tips, because, for example, me sending out a message to 200 people can take bloody time. Yes, I'm copy and pasting, but I've got to correlate all the email addresses, start now messaging all the people.
Yeah.
There's actually people that can do a very simple task like that for you. So we've both got assistants. I've got an assistant in the Philippines. Is he on the Philippines as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what do you pay your assistant per hour?
So I do use an online platform to source me a virtual assistant who I have essentially trained up in the processes and systems that I have, and I pay her about $11 an hour.
11 Aussie?
11 Aussie an hour, yeah.
Yeah. So
I have her on for 20 hours of the week. So she's on a part-time rate. Yeah,
so 7 US I do, which is similar.
Yeah.
So cheap.
Yeah.
Did you do online jobs .ph? Is what you got yours?
No. So I actually got through a friend of mine who owns a company called Outsourcey.
Right.
And Outsourcey sourced someone who was literate in English, great, email correspondence tone and style, and as well as someone who was just very aware of the industry that I work in, and is able to slot in and work as my right-hand man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, a lot of this work is numbers game repetitive tasks that you can create a system for in a process and then give it to your assistant, which this stuff is, it's not like you just rock up on set and you're like, bang. There's a lot of, especially when you're making a full-time career from it, there's a lot of back-end shit that a lot of people don't realize. Okay, you've got to do auditions, and I'm sorry, your assistant ain't going to be able to audition for you. But the things like we just mentioned, all those little sales type things that we've kind of mentioned, your assistant can do that. You were talking about, which I haven't done this, and this is what I've got to get my head around, is applying for jobs. Can you kind of tell me about how your assistant applies for jobs for you?
So, when I made the switch into this career of being an actor, model, presenter, creative, I knew that I had to do. The purpose of why I chose to do this is to create and to connect, right? And all that admin stuff that comes with it, it has to be done in order to keep the train, rolling. And I didn't want to do it, and I found myself losing countless hours, as well as being sucked dry of energy to actually step in front of the camera and do my auditions and self-tapes, right? I'm losing the best part of the day, like golden hour now kind of thing, where my energy is high when I put my best foot forward for these auditions, because I'm having to search for opportunities, do the admin, chase up overdue payments, find emails that have been lost amongst all the other emails, and do all this administration, which I really hated. It's the stuff that I left from my previous career. I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I systemized my week, utilizing a virtual assistant and training her up into all the things that I didn't like doing, all the laborious, monotonous stuff. And through systemizing it, I basically automated, delegated, and templated. Those are the three things I did, essentially, to speed up my time. Because, like I said before, we work in a time pressure environment to get auditions done in a 48-hour period sometimes, to find, and particularly when you're freelancing as well. A lot of these jobs that pop up on Star now, Right Fit, casting networks, you want to try and be applying for those jobs within the first 72 hours. I feel, because after that, it starts to go down into you're being drowned out by all the other applications, right? So you want to get in there the first 72-hour period. So that means consciously and consistently applying daily or every 2 days, and having a virtual assistant there. They handle all the emails. They look for the work on all these platforms, and I've created template cover letters, as well as, you might get a job where you're playing a dad to 3 kids, or you might be a doting husband who's taking his wife on a date night. I've trained my VA to understand that these jobs, when they apply to my look and my age requirements and height and all these other things that are part of it from a visual perspective, that VA goes onto all these platforms and search for those jobs and basically inputs all the photos that are relevant to that job. If I'm a dad, all the daddy roles, all the family pics, all the happy-go-lucky, fun-loving stuff. That's the portfolio that you need to present to your to the casting director or client, and will do all that for me. So I don't have to go through all my stuff and like pick and choose. Yep. It's just time-consuming, which is exhausting, and it sucks you of the energy. And what you're doing is sabotaging yourself because you don't have enough time to do the self-tapes and auditions. Because when it rains, it pours. I'll get 6 auditions one week. I got to get them done. I got to be fully focused on getting that done. And sometimes it's dry as a bone. You've only got 1 job with 0. So my VA is very good at creating a bespoke audition, not the audition, but the application of it. Creating a cover letter based off of templates from previous stuff, using AI a lot of it, but adds the human touch, and then builds the right foot forward when you're applying for that role. And we'll do all that laborious work, and we'll always remind me as well, because I'm not, being a creative with being a creative in a space with so many things going on, you get distracted very easily. Is really good at finding times in my week where I can do it at the right time. I'm an afternoon auditioner.
Oh, morning, mate.
Yeah,
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I find my energy levels are there, and I can do my self-tapes and my auditions at the right time where my energy is high, and I can step into any character, and that helps me, and that lands more jobs.
Sure, yeah.
Because now my day is freed up, and it's really good, but just getting those applications in the right way.
Yeah, energy's huge with auditioning, isn't it? I actually did have a thing on here about auditioning, which is you've got to apply for jobs, right? And you've got to audition for a lot of them. And my kind of observation with a lot of people is they freak out about auditions. You've got to take the weight off and care less. And when I say care less is, okay, do a great job of excellence, but stop freaking out so much. Stop worrying about the super details of things, because I will pump out. I did a video not long ago, and I think I was I'd done 5 auditions in an hour or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
And most people would take 5 hours to do one audition.
I dedicate an hour to the really big ones, but I've got the time now thanks to the VA who carries the rest of the workload. Yeah,
I mean, if it's the bigger jobs, you're going to spend more time and there's more stuff to it for sure.
Yeah.
But, if it's just a star now, 500,000 bucker.
Yeah.
Man, I'm pumping those out super quick. And I must say your energy makes, I know a difference between when I'm really on and feeling great in life.
Yeah.
When I'm doing those videos, and it could be just, hey, introduce yourself. And the ones where you're I've just got to fucking say, Luke, hi, my name's Luke, and this is a little bit about myself.
Interesting.
And it takes you 5 takes because you're just on the state compared to, you go in there, you don't give a fuck. Yeah, what's up? I'm Luke. So a little story about myself. And you have the magic of your personality come out. Those ones there, I always get them.
Yeah.
The one takers where I'm not giving a fuck, I'm not worrying about getting it perfect, and I'm just pulling the magic out, which we spoke about earlier. So with the auditioning, strive for excellence, but just kind of don't worry about perfection.
Aim for the stars, land on the moon.
You're
still in space.
What was the other one? And I just loving what you're saying about your VA. Talking about like this podcast, for example, I got into video podcasting at the end of last year, and going from an audio version, which I had been consistent every week with for years and years, to video, the workload with video is next level. Next level. It probably takes 10 times as long, 10, maybe 20 times as long to do a video episode compared to audio. Yeah. So I fell out of consistency, and the last few months I hadn't even done one episode. And why hadn't I done it? Because I hadn't created a process where I could hand it over to my VA. The last week, I've spent almost a whole week creating this process, which is fucking huge. It took ages. And it's me learn, because when you're creating a process, you've actually got to learn it to teach it as well. Yeah. So doing all this stuff to train someone up, it does temporarily put you backwards. But I've gone from not creating and recording one episode for a couple of months to, in the last week and a half, 4. This is my 4th. I'm going to do another one after this.
Yeah, nice.
So 4 episodes, going from nothing for months to 4 in 1.5 weeks. Why? Because I took the time to create this fucking process. So the same thing with all the training someone. You're going to go backwards temporarily, but once you get up and running, like say Pete's done there, man. Yeah, like that's how you do more without working less.
You got to systemize it and bring yourself back to your core purpose, right? You want to be an actor and a model because you like to create, you like to connect, and you like to build these relationships that compound over time. So the VA has been a game changer for me because it's just taken all the laborious stuff out and giving me so much more time back to create, because I found myself, like doing the opposite of what you were saying at the start of the podcast, which is I wasn't on set chatting to everyone, building relationships, making myself known, building potential connections for future work. I was there in the corner on the laptop getting all my admin done and taking myself out of the game. Yeah. And I reminded myself that I'm not here to do that. I'm here to create and connect, and that's why I left my old career and I've stepped into this. So the VA has saved me time and has just made it so much more streamlined my week and given me a bit of a structure in a career that doesn't have much structure to it, right? Sure. And I mean, a lot of newbies will probably say, is it worth having a VA? When you do the math and you just get 1 or 2 jobs out of it a month, it pays the VA, but it gives you ultimate stress-less life. Yeah. And you should be asking yourself the question, what opportunities am I missing because I'm not applying as much? The VA does that for me. And you don't have to have a VA. You could create an AI agent of yourself that automates, delegates and templates all your day-to-day and weekly stuff. But I find that, for me at least, the VA actually works really well because it does require human touch and finesse to what we do. So
and the objection will be, but how do I do all that? Well, the crazy thing is that because we've got AI now, like this process that I created on Notion, right? Yeah. I knew how to I hadn't used Notion properly for about a year. And I was like going back into it. I'm like, I can't remember how to do it. Every single thing to create this technical process, which is grouse, I just asked Claude, hey, I'm doing this. This is what I need. I'm training my VA. I need to create a sound process for my podcast. What do I need to do? And it snapped out all these things. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that I did that stage. Yeah. So the clarity that it gave me, and then I'm like, okay, I want you to walk me through specifically step 1. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I've done that. Now next step 2. And it literally helped me. So there's no excuses anymore with AI. There's literally no excuses. You fucking ask it. Okay, I'm an actor or a model. I'm wondering how I can use AI or an assistant to help me be more productive, work less. What are some ideas that I can pass on to my assistant? Yeah. It'll tell you. So no excuses. It'll teach you how to do it. Easy as hell. One thing I will say, did you need a tag on any of that?
No, I just think that I just hate all this admin stuff that I have to do, right? And I've just lost so much time being sucked up by that I've found now I'm a much happier person being able to step on set, not have to worry about that. Go to the call, purpose of my reason being there, and I can actually provide a better service, I guess, in being a better actor and model, and I'm building connections constantly because I don't have to worry about anything. I have full trust in my VA as well. You have to trust your VA that they're self-aware enough to understand what needs to be done for this job or that job or so forth. I mean, she has my full database of portfolio work. You know, she's got all my nudes as well. So I have full trust that, you know, she can use them in the right way.
She can end you.
She can end me if she wanted, or ask for like another promotion or whatever.
That's funny. You just see all these you're on some mag or something like that. And you're like, I didn't do that.
I'm worried that she's applying in other countries for me and taking the money for it.
Yes. I was going to say, with this industry, with anything that you get into that you have a passion doing, this is what happens. You love something, you get into it, and initially when you're not getting a huge amount of success and you're getting some results, it's fun. But what happens is that when you become successful with it, the workload, the back end stuff, which you don't love doing, comes. And the typical story with, say, acting and modelling, you might start off and go, I'm getting a job here and there. It's so fucking fun. Okay, yes, I've got to send an invoice, all good. But when it's consistent, that's where it goes from, you know what, I don't love this anymore. And you don't love it anymore. Why? Because you love being on set, but you don't love all the other shit that you've got to do. Yeah. So it's super important that as you get bigger, and if you want to get bigger, you actually have to do this too. Keep the love for the game. Otherwise, because, you know, if you're on set and it's maybe, I don't know, 50% of your work or 30% of your work and all the rest is back end crap. So 30% on set, 70% going to be admin, invoicing, back end stuff. You're going to lose the love for it. And like you said there, your energy makes everything. Like you rocking up on set, you know the difference between rocking up on set, and you're not feeling it compared to like you're on.
Yeah.
Fuck the difference.
Yeah, protect your energy at all costs. Like just being self-aware that, you know, as you do become busier and busier, you are going to get more exhausted. It is a taxing thing to step on set and to do heavy dialogue, be on set, be on screen, be in front of the camera all the time, talking to 30 different people on set. It is exhausting and taxing. So you need to protect your energy where you can. And if you can create a system that all the back end stuff or the admin is managed like a business, you optimize your energy to be a better actor, and that lends itself to freeing up time to go to workshops, to training courses, to learn to be a better actor. So it compounds in a positive way when you can free up time in the back end of it.
Beautiful. Wardrobes. I've got a Google Drive wardrobe. Yeah. This is great. So you'll get people where they're not supplying wardrobe. They're like, can you send pictures through? Imagine you're doing this all the time. It is bloody time consuming.
Yeah.
So I've got a Google Drive folder, or you can have Dropbox, where I've basically taken photos of all my wardrobe, and it's in there. And basically when someone goes, hey, can you send through some pics through wardrobe? I just go Google Drive link, boom. And all my lists are numbered. So it's just like 1, 2, 3. I go, just let me know the numbers. Yeah. And every single person that I send that through to, they go, oh my gosh, this is the best idea ever.
Yeah.
And I've only got to send one little link, as opposed to there's people out there sending photos of their bloody wardrobe every bloody time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Again, if you're doing this over and over, time consuming effing thing. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. You could probably 1 or 2 hours to take your wardrobe and set this up a Google Drive file.
Yeah.
Man, that there is so worth it.
I'm on board with that because I've been doing that for a couple of years now. It's just another example of automation. Yeah. You're just automating something that pretty much follows most of the jobs, if you're freelancing at least, and getting jobs off a Star Now, Right Fit, and so forth. Wardrobe's going to reach out to you and they're going to ask for, like, do you have this and this and this? I'm like, I'm not going to spend my time looking through my wardrobe. I'm just going to send you a Google Drive link with everything I have and everything I've ever bought, and I will update it consciously when I'm out with friends at the pub. I'm wearing a new outfit. I'll just take a photo, just plug it into the Google Drive link, it in, and then they have it and they can make the decisions. You just bring it on the day.
That's so easy. Is there anything else you can think of? Well, I mean, we've covered heaps. We're at 90 minutes now.
Oh, really?
Covered heaps.
Well, I guess the one big thing that keeps me going as an actor and speeds up my weekly efforts is that I track everything. I use I use a spreadsheet, and my VA has full access to that spreadsheet. So she updates every job, and there'll be about 20 columns, all information that's relevant. It's like the usage, how long it's going to be used for, who the production team is, whether or not I've got the finished results. So there'll be a follow-up later so that I can get that portfolio work.
Isn't like have you got the content?
Yeah. Have I got the TVC, and have I got the stills from that yet?
Yes.
How much I got paid from it, how much the commission was, how much was taken out for tax. All these things is so relevant and information that I'll come back to later. And particularly in this industry, they'll reuse a TV commercial or they'll reuse a shoot. And if the usage is for 2 years and they've gone over that 2 years, you're fully entitled to rollover. And I love rollover because this year alone, I've had 7 rollovers come through.
How good are rollovers? So good.
So for anyone who doesn't know, rollover is essentially getting paid pretty much 100% of what you were paid on the day to shoot it. But all you have to do is sign off on the extra usage, and it's the best thing in the world. It's like getting inheritance or a Christmas present in July, and it's fantastic because you can be paid 5 to 10 grand for a rollover. You can negotiate, but most of the time it's 100%.
Dang.
And I love rollover.
Yeah, it really is when you get that message.
Yeah,
and you're like, hey, they're going to sign for another year or two. And you're like, fuck yeah, money for doing nothing.
Literally
So
nothing.
good.
Just signing off on it.
Yeah.
And to give you an example, I was doom scrolling, right, on Instagram, and I just saw an old ad that popped up, and I'm like, I'm certain that was only meant to run for 24 months.
Yeah.
So it's 3-4 years after I shot that. I looked through my spreadsheet, went to the usage. It was only for 12 months, which I was wrong about, but wrong about in the right way.
Yeah.
Reached out to the client. I still had them in Google. Just sent them a quick message, and I said,
where's my money?
Exactly. Show me the money. and it was the CEO called me up straight away, and he was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't even know what this is all about, but clearly we're using the ad again. We didn't realize that it was 12 months usage. What would be for another 12 months? And I'm just like 100%, just pay me what you pay me on the day. So $2,200 later.
Beautiful. There you go. That happens heaps.
Happens a lot.
Heaps. The companies are using your content, which is outside the usage agreement. So tracking it, like you said there, because I don't do that. That's something I've got to get into.
It's great for tax time, but it's also great for monitoring and tracking all your work so that you can improve quarter on quarter, year on year.
Yeah, I mean, talking about tracking, you've at minimum you've got to track your jobs. So you write down the job, you write how much you're getting paid, what the due date is, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're booking a lot of shoots, you can't fucking remember. You can't just be relying on people paying you.
Yeah.
So
and they can take up to 45 days to get paid sometimes.
Oh man, I've had longer than that. I've had two months before, I reckon.
Yeah.
Some people.
I've had a year.
Got a year.
Yeah. I just let one slip completely, and they were a bit sly with it.
Yeah.
This was freelance, so I didn't know that I got paid.
Yep.
You got all these different amounts coming in. Sometimes they're adjusted, sometimes they're not. So you can't really. But it took a year, and I looped back to them, and got paid a little extra for that.
Yeah. Well, I did a tourism shoot, and I haven't been paid for that. That was back in April. So April, May, June, July. That's over 3 months. I have spoken to the dude.
Yeah.
Said that there's been some shit going on. But for example, you might have a small production company where they've run out of money, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't go chase them, so you got to be mindful of it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap things up here. If you know anyone that should be getting into commercials and you reckon they'd be good for it, share this episode with them. And if you know of anyone else in the industry that would get value from this, please share this with them. If I had to finish with you asking if you had to give someone advice, you got someone there, it's like actor, model, and I'm going to say someone who we'll do one each. Beginner, someone who's already in it. What do you want to take?
For a beginner,
so you're going to do beginner?
Yeah.
I'm going to give advice to someone who's already in it. Go.
Okay.
Beginner watching this. What advice from the king? What do you say?
I want to give you a 10-point plan, not just one, but to just throw yourself into the deep end, and to throw yourself in the deep end, but with the assurance that you do know how to swim. You know, like this career is only. You got to do it for the right reasons, right? You got to be so freaking excited to do this every day. You know, you got to be enlivened and engaged and excited on an energy level that you haven't felt before, because it's long game. It is long game, and consistency breeds confidence. So doing it consistently, over and over and over again, your confidence builds and compounds time and time again. So if you're just starting out, throw yourself in the deep end. Expose yourself to as many environments that will put you on set, put you in contact with the right photographers, creatives, people that have the ability and opportunity to hire you. Just do that as much as you can. So throw yourself in the deep end. Surround yourself with colleagues, you know, that are doing the same thing. You'll find that, particularly me, I play a lot of dads. I play the dad role, like, you know, just as much as this guy. So surround yourself with colleagues you can partner up with and learn with alongside. You can run in parallel with each other. Find an on-screen partner who's more experienced, or you can just someone you can work with. So throwing yourself in the deep end, be uncomfortable with that, and comfortable in the uncomfortability is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, wow. Huge. I'd say something similar, and look, this is probably going to relate to whether you're a beginner or whether you've been doing this and you're already in it. I'd say lean into discomfort. Like, it's, you know, if you want to grow, you want to get better, it only comes from doing uncomfortable things. So I know for me that one thing that's got me more shoots was I started to apply for the roles that I thought that I couldn't do. So I'd look at it and be like, oh, you know, those ones where you're like, oh, I don't know if I could do this, or that would be a bit, you know, that would be hard, or I'd be uncomfortable doing that. I just started applying for more of those, and then you're going to get those parts where you're not used to it. So, for example, if you're a model and your weakness is speaking on camera, there is, for example, one reason why I book a lot of shoots is because I've got a wide range. I can do the modeling, I can do the speaking, I can do presenting, I can do acting. If you're just a model, then you've only got modeling jobs, and you could be doing speaking jobs right now, but you've just got to learn to speak on camera. So for you, get uncomfortable, start applying for some speaking jobs, go for it again, you're starting again. So either do free jobs or do $100, $200 for a speaking job, get some experience, get some confidence, and then now you've opened up another area where you can make money there. If you can be doing all those things, acting, modeling, presenting, UGC, you're going to be able to get way more jobs compared to just a model or just an actor.
Yeah, absolutely. Like everywhere I've seen, like in our industry, the ones who are most successful and have longevity are the ones who can broaden their talents by doing multiple different things, whether it's direct-to-camera presentation, whether it's the e-com, whether it's high fashion stills, voiceover work, UGC. It's just being able to expose yourself to all those things and trying as many things as you can. That keeps the bank account ticking over, but also gets you on set and gets you, and it just compounds, doesn't it?
Bang.
Yeah.
All right, the King. Thanks, man, for coming on.
Cheers, mate. It's been great.